on foreign territory, I might add, with the Miller Lite Open net. Look who's here alongside. A fellow former Whaler. This guy could run for mayor in this city right now, Kelly Chase. Could you not?
I don't know. Is there a run right now I could make at it? I'm not sure.
Well,
they don't let me vote in this country.
You should at least have a street named after you. Holly has one. You should have one too. Does the color on radio here in town of former blue. Here's our first question, Kelly. The deadline passed. Which team made the best trade this season?
Best trade this season by far, in my opinion, was the trades made by Anaheim. Brian Burke, I think, did an unbelievable job. First of all, the Pronger deal prior to the season. I thought that, I think he's the best defenseman in the league.
You get an
arguably.
argument from Kevin Lowe on that one, but
well,
keep going.
I'll argue with him about it. I played with him. I'll argue with him. He knows who got him to the finals. And then on top of it all, they do a heck of a job, and then they hold back at the deadline. I'm going to give you one more deal real quickly. The Nashville deal, I love it. And everybody talks about, they give up. I love it. And I'll tell you why. Because every time you're that close to winning, and you guys are a great example of it, you go ahead and get players to better your team, and I love when you make your team better at the deadline, and they did a great job of doing that. They got to win.
I'm going to say that Forsberg's going to hurt him a little bit. He's going to slow down a fast-paced team, just for argument's sake. I don't even believe that. I just had to say that. My number one.
I'm looking at you like you're losing your mind. What are you talking about?
My number one trade would be at the draft in Vancouver, when the Vancouver Canucks reinvented themselves, picked up, I think, the best goaltender in the league. Apologies to all the others. But Roberto Luongo, Bertuzzi didn't play at all this year for them. I like Brian Allen as a defenseman. Alex Auld is their backup down there. He's hurt now. And they got maybe the MVP of the NHL at the draft.
I agree with you, except they didn't have a chance to win the Stanley Cup. I don't think they have a chance to win the Stanley Cup. Anaheim does with Pronger.
All right, well, I won that one. That's great. Here we go. Question 2. Do you believe that the NHL... Oh, I can just guess what your answer is going to be here. Do you think the NHL should change the instigator rule?
You mean there's an instigator rule? I mean, honestly, absolutely they should change it. Never more evident than in Buffalo or the Buffalo-Ottawa game going on. And finally the league had to take note. We had all these fights and this passion and emotion in the game. And lo and behold, it lived up to the hype in the next game.
I know,
and
it never does that.
It never does that, and it did it. And everybody was watching. People in the States who weren't paying attention were the leadoff story on ESPN again. I'll imagine we figured out how to get back there, and we did it with a bunch of fights, and the instigator rule is one of the things that we need taken out.
So get rid of it altogether.
Get rid of it.
General managers are talking about, you know what, no suspensions until after 5.
We want to get the goals. We
No,
want
I
to get
don't
the
wanna
goals
do that.
up. We want to get the goals up.
True.
Okay, we want to get the fights up again too.
That
we'll have buildings full again if we do that.
One quick question about the instigator then. Aren't all fights, doesn't every fight have an instigator? Really?
I think so. It's just the way. I tell you this. I say this all the time. If I ran Steve Yzerman in Detroit, I didn't need Gary to phone me and tell me what the fine was. I already knew. It was Probert and kosher, okay? So that's the penalty. You don't need the instigator for it.
And that's why everyone keeps talking about running goalies. I haven't seen that many goalies get run, but they all seem to think if a goalie gets run, they need somebody to come to the rescue. I don't think Emery needs anybody.
I was going to say, last time I checked, he's not bad. Sean Burke's pretty tough, too.
I know.
You know that.
No problems there. Is it over? Oh, it's over. Thanks for this.
I'm glad you're able to get me down here for
only
this.
because I didn't tie down. I'm going to call this one a tie. Thanks for the questions. A reminder, you can log on to DallasStars.com, get involved in this, and watch everything else. We're back at Scott Trade Center after this.